Biology calls it coherence. Physics calls it phase alignment. Music calls it harmony. You call it relief. Let's unpack. Imagine your body as an orchestra. Every instrument is your system. Heart, breath, thoughts, muscles, hormones. Now, when one violinist decides to play off key, the whole orchestra sounds like shit. That's stress. That's incoherence. That's the wasted energy you feel when your inner dialogue fights itself. But when every instrument listens, tunes up, and plays together, suddenly the music makes you weep. That's coherence. That's relief. That's energy flowing instead of fighting. You already do this, by the way. Ever notice how when you're laughing with a close friend, your breaths sink? You don't even plan it. You inhale together, you exhale together. That's biology in harmony. Physics would call it resonance. Psychology calls it rapport, but you just call it, that feels good. Now let's chunk this up. Zoom out. Galaxies spin in spirals. Atoms dance in shells. Planets orbit in patterns, all in phase alignment. The entire universe is basically one giant DJ set. And when everything syncs, life dances. When it doesn't, life stutters, skips, gets stuck, and you feel it in your bones. And chunking down, looking at the details, your heart rhythm literally entrains with your breath. When you breathe slowly and steadily, your heart starts flowing. Heart rate variability, that tiny change in beats, it signals your brain, hey, we're safe, we're aligned. Then the brain releases calm chemistry, instead of fight or flight poison. That's coherence at the cellular level. But here's the kicker. If you ignore this, if you keep living out of sync, your system fights it. Stress eats your body. Relationships collapse. Creativity flatlines. You waste energy, faking smiles and grinding teeth. Karma's a bitch. Incoherence always collects interest. You pay in fatigue, confusion, illness, loneliness. And yet, when you choose resonance, holy shit, you glow. People feel you walk into a room like a lighthouse beam. You save energy. You magnetize opportunity. Coherence makes you unstoppable because you're no longer at war with yourself. That's the future consequence of alignment. Relief today, radiance tomorrow. Now let's reframe your fear. Why am I scared of coherence? Why am I afraid people will react? Because coherence is truth, and truth makes fakery nervous. If you step into harmony, the out-of-tune people, they'll feel their own dissonance louder. They might project, reject, or try to drag you back. But fuck them. Would you rather dim your light so someone else doesn't notice their shadows? That's incoherence. That's debt on credit. Instead, reframe it. Your coherence is a gift. You become the tuning fork. When you vibrate steady, others start aligning without even knowing why. That's an LP pacing and leading in action. You meet them in their rhythm, then slowly bring them toward yours, like a strong drummer setting the tempo. People fall into sync because their biology craves it. Look at it like this. Already doing it when you fall in love, when you dance with friends, when you finish someone's sentence. You can do it in new ways with your breath, with your posture, with the words you choose, with the intention behind your actions. Why is it important? Because incoherence is chaos, and chaos burns life. Coherence is energy efficiency, creativity, joy. Science says every system prefers synchronization. It's mathematically cheaper. Entropy punishes incoherence. Nature rewards coherence. So why are you afraid? Because shining brighter risks standing out. But hiding is more dangerous. The patterns that keep you stuck are self-doubt, people-pleasing, overthinking, distraction, all incoherence, all noise. Now let's twist the knife deeper. Confusion opens the brain, right? That moment when you don't know what to think. You're vulnerable to new wiring. So let me wire this. Every time you choose coherence, breathing steady, speaking truth, aligning action with values, you become a human lighthouse. You stop wasting energy on fakery. You stop feeding fear. You stop draining your soul. You glow. Every time you reject coherence, you leak energy. You fight yourself. You get lost in noise. You become a broken guitar string, vibrating without music. So what identity do you want? Broken string or human symphony? Because listen, biology calls it coherence. Physics calls it phase alignment. Music calls it harmony, but you, when you live it, you call it freedom. Now let this drop into your bones, your nervous system. It's already syncing with these words. Your unconscious is already installing coherence as a natural default. No effort, no forcing, just truth remembered. From this moment forward, alignment feels obvious, inevitable, easy. Because when systems sync, energy flows. When they don't, energy fights itself. And you are not born to fight yourself. You were born to glow.